There's some brainlets out there that think that, oh, everybody was just distracted by the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp story and they weren't taking shooting gun violence seriously. Yeah, well, that was actually, addressing something that was actionable and something that affects more than just, a random occurrence of really tragic events, but, something that should be properly covered at the time. But then at the same time, constantly talking about how guns are out there killing people. They just load themselves and they're the ones that are responsible for this, and restricting gun rights is very important and all that fuck shit. We got some stories, at least for the first part of the day, okay? When it comes to the government fucking over people, in this instance, fucking over kids. And it's not exactly like individual congressmen fucking over little kids, but it's a little bit of a different story here. A 10-year-old boy, is crying all day as he is held for 3 weeks in detention center for sending a humorous text with a stock picture of a gun. That's all he did. Didn't do anything else. He sent a picture of a gun with a message. And he's being detained for 21 days. A 10-year-old kid. This story is so fucked. 10-year-old boy whose mugshot was posted on the internet after he jokingly threatened to shoot up I'm sure he did. His Florida Elementary School is still locked up in a detention center. Why? He's 10. He's 10. He made a joke. He's 10. Daniel Marquez was ordered to be detained for 21 days by a judge last weekend after being charged with making a written threat after he sent 3 texts to a friend that allegedly suggest. Oh, see how the story just softens in all of 4 lines? Suggesting he was plotting to shoot up Patriot Elementary School in Cape Coral. Yeah, what's permeating the headlines right now, okay? What's just bubbling under the surface? Oh, mass violence, shootings happening all the time. And what do you think a 10-year-old kid's gonna do, okay? Even in passing, if that's what you're hit with all the fucking time, you want to make a spicy joke, okay? This is so fucked. It's right up there with charging a kid's parents with involuntary manslaughter because he was the one who pulled the trigger. So fucked. It's so stupid. Those text, 2 stock images, and a message to his friends saying he was looking forward to the last day of school. Okay, cool. Maybe he's gonna go out to the range and practice. Anyways, have been taken totally out of context of the authorities. Okay, just look at this. Okay, he said in text messages he was gonna shoot up a school, then he allegedly was going to, and now they were totally taken out of context. Okay. Motherfucker. It was an attempt at humor, but 5th grade humor. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I don't see a modern day, Chris Rock rolling out of 5th grade, for fuck's sakes. Honestly, I got I think, it was probably about 5th grade when I made, I think I've referenced this before, but just for posterity's sake and because it makes sense right now. I wrote a poem. We were all supposed to do haikus and dumb shit like that. Whatever the 575, those are haikus, right? I wrote one about rabid monkeys, okay? And it had a couple of crudely drawn images of monkeys with foam coming out of their mouth, okay? And I got hauled into the principal's office because it was so abhorrent, and I was reprimanded by everybody, and you couldn't listen to any hard rock or heavy metal at the time because that was going to turn you to the devil, okay? Because what would that have been, right around 2000? Yeah, so Marilyn Manson was big. Funny how all of these things just kind of run together, but I was never a fan of Marilyn Manson. Fucking industrial metal sucks a dick, but it's funny, right? Because one of my favorite concerts that I've ever gone to was Alice Cooper, 4th Row. It was fucking dope. But yeah, no, under these same standards, okay? He's saying something like rabid monkeys are going to come and bite my friends or something like that, or they're going to bite... I can't even fucking remember. It was something like that. It was something about spreading rabies. I remember rabid monkeys and spreading rabies, something like that, okay? Under the same standards, I should have been locked up for maybe not 21 days, 14, 7, something like that, because I was wishing, theoretically, under these same principles, I was wishing death upon people, or at least serious medical maiming. So ridiculous. And this is even in Florida, of all places. Fucking Florida, dude. Still have red flag laws, so keep that in mind. At least for the time being. Daniel was handcuffed at his home and hauled off to the sheriff's deputies during a perp walk shared online by Lee County Sheriff's Office. Did you think that who would you win over by doing this, you fucking weirdos? Like, the kid just looks totally over this, and I can completely agree with him. Authorities also released the boy's mugshot on Monday, while warning that fake threats result in real consequences. What kind of fucking Orwellian nonsense is this? Daily Mail can reveal the boy is being held in Collier County Juvenile Detention Center in Naples, Florida, 55 miles away from his home where he lives with Army veteran father Derek Marquez, his elder brother and grandmother. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. This was a joke, and you know why he got taken away? If he lived with his mother, if that was the exact same situation, if he was living with his mother, his eldest brother, and his grandmother, that kid wouldn't have been taken away. But it's a single father. Daniel's nightmare began when the father of the boy who received the message got concerned and reported them to the Lee County Sheriff's Department. Oh, so some cuck ended up ratting on this kid. Which then unleashed a full force of the law on the elementary school honor student. Dude, I'm really sympathizing with this kid because, yeah, honor student too, who just one fuck up along the way and then you end up getting hauled away. But thankfully, I didn't end up in a place like this, even though there's one not that far from where I went to school at the time. It's kind of funny how all of this stuff is just kind of rolling together. The alleged threat, I want to see this threat still, okay, came just 4 days after the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Yes, exactly. That was plastered all over all of the headlines, and it was so important that we just ban those evil rifles. And then also just, led to an unprompted spur out that we need to get rid of 9mm handguns. And Justin Trudeau, I don't know, got off of his chair with the fucking steel fist that fixed to the center of the chair. Decided to suppress any sort of gun rights in Canada. So yeah, a kid seen the headline and it was probably talked about by all of his cucked out teachers as well. So just saying, according to the arrest report, Daniel sent a text message to his friend saying, "I scammed a friend," okay, along with a Google image of cash. I'm sure he scammed his friend too, okay? Like, this kid is just posting fucking rudimentary memes, okay? What, did he send another text to another person? He used a picture of Pamela Anderson, kind of dating myself with that reference. And he said, "I just fucked your bitch." Like, what are we doing here? I brought this, he added a few seconds later, and included an image of 4 assault rifles. So he scammed his friend, who is also, 10 years old, and bought 4 assault rifles. He's 10. Wow. Okay, these are serious threats that he's... And again, I'm failing to see any threats that are in here so far. He later sent another message saying, "Get ready for Water Day," referring to an end of school year event which students participate in water activities. Oh my god, 10-year-olds involving water sports? I thought Florida dealt with groomers in schools. Anyways, in a radio interview after the incident, Lee County Sheriff's... Carmen Marcino. Yep, that makes sense. Said his team did not want... Oh, it's a dude? Sorry, I thought that was like Carmine. Said his team did not want to wait 1 second, adding, "We investigate every threat as if it is real." No, you detain a kid for what exactly? I don't get it. I did a campaign, fake threat, real consequences. While I understand the boy is 10 years old, his brain is not fully developed. He's a juvenile, and I will tell you, when a 10-year-old presses a trigger... What? He doesn't even have a gun, you tard. The aftermath is the same regardless of age, the sheriff explained. Dude, I wish he would take his own advice. Except for aiming it at anybody else, he would just aim it at the top of his mouth. However, attorney Malloy, who is fighting for the release from detention, yeah, exactly, insists the texts were childlike humor and were taken out of context. Yeah, now that we've seen them in as much context as we're going to be provided, I don't see the threat. It doesn't pass the Brandenburg test. It doesn't even pass like a basic reading of the texts, okay? Like, if this was a conversation between 2 fucking friends, okay, regardless of age, it just would have been a banal conversation that you wouldn't even give 2 seconds or 2 thoughts to, okay? I scammed my friends. I bought assault rifles. Okay, what did you do at work today? Like, all you're doing is instilling a hatred of authority into this kid. So if you wanted to create a little fuck up, congratulations, you're well on your way. You know what would have happened at the end of this? Okay, yeah, you would have brought this to somebody's attention, and you got a father who was he was infantry in Iraq. The kid probably would have caught a fucking beating, okay, outside of that, and then that would have fixed the situation. But no, let's just build a mountain out of a molehill. Based on the review of what has been supplied to me, Daniel was texting a friend, and they were going back and forth, a stream of text about a variety of subjects. Yeah, exactly. Like kids do, okay? I didn't have a cell phone at 10, but the inane conversations that I had with my friends, even just, in person at 10 years old, it was probably something to do with Pokemon or something like that. I don't fucking remember. Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And again, they were quote-unquote violent, or at least described or ascribed violence to by parents and the teachers as well. Well, I said the next conversation they had, which was a little removed in time, was about how excited the boy was for Water Day celebrations at school, which is a traditional end of the school year. Yeah, exactly. It's probably fun, except for any big school gathering is always kind of retarded. But I always looked forward to the last day of school because, yeah, obviously junior high on, you would just go in, you'd get your report card, and then you'd just fuck off. But then I remember in grade school, like he is, 5th grade, you'd go in, you'd watch a movie. If you didn't like the movie, you didn't show up to school. We'd bring in snacks back when that was copacetic. That was even just before, all of the peanut allergy garbage that was coming through. You'd celebrate with your friends. You'd made sure that you had all the up-to-date information with all your friends so you could contact them. If you guys wanted to hang out during the summer, that's it, okay? That's probably what he meant, okay? He's excited for Water Day. Great, wonderful. I bet you there's probably a creepy 6th grade teacher with a fucking pedo stash who's probably equally as excited for Water Day because all of the kids are going to be in their swimsuits. Why don't you check out those text messages? There's no reference tying the two things together. Somewhere there was, supposed to be something funny. Yeah, exactly. You're taking humor and you're putting that on trial. Great. He didn't directly say he was going to shoot up the school. Yeah, exactly. It was drawing a conclusion. There's further conversation back and forth about Water Day and the events, but nothing, absolutely nothing related to shooting it up or referencing the guns. Malloy, who was our state, and federal prosecutor, and federal prosecutor for 30 years, revealed the texts were spotted by the friend's father. Who's this beta simp? The dad had occasion to review them. I'm not sure why. Well, that kind of makes sense. You should be at least abreast of what your kids are typing back and forth on their fucking phones, especially if they're 10. What the hell's wrong with you? Don't give your kids a phone. This should be another big lesson that parents should learn from this video. Don't give your 10-year-old a fucking cell phone. You could avoid this altogether. Revealed the text. At the time, there was a heightened sensitivity to those words. Assault rifles. Oh my God. Yeah. And he lives with a single father. And that father is the military veteran. So he probably has better keep and care of his, weaponry if he has any than anybody else in the general population. Just saying. And while Daniel didn't use those words, he used some stock photos he got somewhere. Yeah, it's called a Google search, okay? He could have typed in a whole bunch of other things that wasn't gun. Could have mistyped and got some Ethan Ralph pictures. Anyways, the father called Mr. Marquez and said, I've got some concerns about this text. What does it mean? Yeah, this could have been resolved between two parents. Mr. Marquez was unfamiliar with them and said, well, this is just goofing around. It's exactly what it is, okay? But no, the fucking goof probably went to his wife and he was like, you gotta take this up the flagpole. You gotta go to the school. Somebody's gotta be punished for this. Where's that bitch? Throw her in fucking jail for 21 days. So the other father let him know that he had contacted the sheriff. Didn't even go to the school for it, just went directly to the sheriff's department. Fuck this guy. I'd be beating the brakes off this guy. Officers arrived at the Marquez family home in Cape Coral on Saturday. Single dad Derek moved to Florida in 2018 after serving in the infantry on Iraq and now works as a realtor. He declined to comment when approached by Daily Mail. Daniel's father only told the deputies he understood why they were there and handed them the phone. And then he was told he could be perceived as a threat simply because they're in the same chain of events. They arrested Daniel. Unfucking believable. I hate this. I hate this so much. They handcuffed him at his home and they put him back in the back of the patrol car. Mr. Marquez was not allowed to go into the car with... What? He's the guardian for this... And I hate the government so much. I believe he met his son at the sheriff's department substation. Next, Daniel was prosecuted for making a threat and appeared before a judge at Lee County's courthouse. I can't believe it even got this far. Somebody else at the fucking police precinct didn't go, why are you handcuffing a kid? Oh, it's over evil text messages. What did he say? Oh, he sent some pictures. The fuck are you doing? But the fact that this got before a judge? What is wrong with people? But they had to decide if there was probable cause. How... How could they find this? Molloy continued. At that time, Daniel was being represented by the first person Mr. Marquez could get on the telephone, a very good lawyer, who contested the probable cause. He said there looks to be no threat there. There's no probable cause to hold him. The judge disagreed. Who's this judge? And that Daniel had to be held for 21 days and was taken to Juvenile Detention Center in Collier County because the one in Lee County is under construction. He's still there. Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Not only is this entire situation fucked up, but this 10-year-old kid's due process rights are being violated, and he's being subjected to a juvenile detention center where there's actually violent, terrible kids that he's there and exposed to for 3 fucking weeks. Wow, you've done untold damage to this kid. For what reason? For what fucking reason? I've reached out to the state attorney's office, and they will be talking about possible release. They should. This kid should get paid for this. This is so fucked. My job is to get him out and for him to get his life back. This 10-year-old kid is irreparably fucked. To not have anyone in that 10-year-old's life look at him differently forever. To have people look at him as an honor student that he is. Yeah, we actually got a picture of this. Okay, like a certificate of completion. Okay, just graduated or would graduate. Okay, English language arts award. Okay, honor roll. He's a good kid. He's a good kid who made what you perceive as an unfunny joke. I think that is pretty clever. He's doing memes, okay? He's using stock footage to just make funny scammer memes. Like, oh, this is so terrible. Let's just wrap this up. His dad is visiting him tonight, and I will see him tomorrow. I'm moving everything from my desk for this because we have a 10-year-old in our lives somewhere. Yeah, no, exactly. I have a grandson, and I do not wish to visit. Oh, that in my brain. How you might feel about the situation. Molloy said Daniel comes from a loving and stable home, adding he's a Boy Scout, a child that excels at his studies. He is bookish, he has a good sense of humor, and is very intelligent. Oh, God, I hope this guy is successful, because this is a disgusting situation. Government overreach, man. And the fact that this isn't in the headlines right now, that should tell you something. But you know what else isn't in the headlines right now? There was actually another mass shooting going on at the same time, which was probably also spurned on by a 10-year-old boy's text, right? But you didn't hear about that one, did you? Happened around the same time as the Uvalde gimmick, and you don't want to talk about the shooter in that one. Well, even more so, you don't want to be talking about the shooter in this next one, or in the next couple of ones. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.